Value decides who stays and who gets replaced. Not love, not history, not promises, just value. Most people spend years trying to be liked. They adjust, they overgive, they over-explain. They become available all the time. And then one day they are left confused because effort did not protect them. Attention did not protect them. Even loyalty did not protect them. The truth is simple and uncomfortable. Most people try to be loved. Few try to be valuable. That is why most people get replaced. If someone can walk away from you and feel nothing, you were convenient, not valuable. Convenience is easy to find again. Value is not. And in today's world, where options are endless and attention spans are short, being convenient is dangerous. What you are about to learn is not about manipulation. It is not about playing games. It is about psychology. It is about human behavior. It is about how respect is formed in the mind. History quietly proves this pattern again and again. The people who were truly missed were not the loudest. They were not the most emotional. They were not the ones begging to stay. They were the ones who built strength, control, and rare ability. Even thinkers like Marcus Aurelius wrote about self-mastery as the foundation of power, not attachment. And that lesson still applies now more than ever. People do not regret losing someone who was always available. They regret losing someone who brought stability during chaos. They regret losing someone who solved problems. Someone who raised standards. Someone who could walk away without falling apart. Regret is not triggered by emotion alone. It is triggered by realization. Realization that what was lost is hard to replace. In this video, you will learn the 7 ways to build that kind of value. You will learn why emotional control increases perceived worth. You will learn how rare skills create leverage in both relationships and life. You will understand why reducing neediness instantly shifts power. You will see how strategic silence can create more impact than constant presence. You will discover why building a mission bigger than any one person changes how the world responds to you. And you will learn the difference between being desired and being respected, because one fades quickly and the other grows over time. These principles are not loud. They are not dramatic on the surface, but their effects are deep. There are reasons why calm individuals often command more authority in a room. There are reasons why people who control their reactions are treated differently. There are reasons why scarcity increases perceived importance. Psychology research continues to confirm that humans assign more value to what feels limited, stable, and difficult to replace. This is not about becoming cold. It is about becoming solid. It is about shifting from emotional dependence to internal strength. Because the harsh truth is this: when your mood depends on someone else's attention, your value drops. When your identity depends on someone else's validation, your position weakens. But when your stability comes from within, people feel it, and they respond to it. By the end of this video, you will not just understand how to make someone regret losing you. You will understand how to upgrade yourself so deeply that losing you becomes a clear downgrade. That is a different level. That is not revenge. That is evolution. Stay until the end, because the final point ties everything together in a way most people overlook. It is the one shift that separates temporary attraction from long-term respect. Miss it, and the other 6 lose strength. Understand it, and the entire framework becomes powerful. This is not surface advice. This is structure. This is discipline. This is transformation from being emotional and reactive to becoming calm, strategic, and rare. And once you become rare, people think twice before walking away. If you are ready to stop being the option and start becoming the standard, then you are in the right place. Welcome to our channel, where we do not teach fantasy or quick tricks. We teach control, strength, and real value. Subscribe now, because the next lessons will continue building the mindset that makes you impossible to ignore and even harder to replace. Here is the harsh truth. Most people avoid. People do not regret losing emotions. Emotions fade. Excitement fades. Attraction fades. What they truly regret losing is stability. They regret losing respect. They regret losing competence. They regret losing peace. They regret losing leverage. Those things are rare. Those things are difficult to replace. Anyone can send sweet messages. Anyone can promise loyalty. Anyone can show temporary passion, but not everyone can stay calm under pressure. Not everyone can think clearly during conflict. Not everyone can bring order when things feel uncertain. That is where real value begins. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius wrote that you have power over your mind. That sentence carries more weight than it first appears. If you control your mind, you control your reactions. If you control your reactions, you control your presence. And if you control your presence, you control how people experience you. Value begins with control. Without control, everything else collapses. If you are emotional, needy, reactive, or constantly seeking reassurance, you are optional. Optional people are easy to replace. There is always another emotional person. There is always another available person. There is always another person willing to overgive just to stay. This is not about becoming cold. It is about becoming solid. This video is about becoming non-optional. It is about shifting from temporary attraction to lasting respect. Each of the 7 ways follows a pattern. First, we expose the mistake most people make. Then we explain the psychological shift. Then we define the practical standard. And finally, we look at the transformation effect that happens when you apply it consistently. Way number 1 is emotional control. The mistake most people make is overreacting. They over-explain small misunderstandings. They overtext when they feel ignored. They push for reassurance when they feel insecure. Every reaction reveals dependency. Every uncontrolled emotion lowers perceived strength. A weak position is loud. It tries to fix everything instantly. It tries to defend every small accusation. It tries to win every argument. A strong position is calm. It is measured. It knows when to speak and when to stay silent. Emotional control creates psychological weight. When you are calm in moments that normally trigger others, people notice. The Stoic teacher Epictetus taught that it is not what happens, but how you respond, that defines you. This principle still governs modern relationships and social dynamics. When someone tries to provoke you, and you remain steady, you gain ground. When someone withdraws attention, and you do not chase, you gain ground. When tension rises, and you speak slowly, instead of loudly, you gain ground. The psychological shift here is simple but powerful. Instead of reacting to control the situation, you respond to control yourself. That internal control changes how others see you. The practical standard is this: pause before replying. Breathe before speaking. Do not send messages you would regret reading later. Do not explain yourself when no explanation is required. Allow silence to do part of the work. The transformation effect is clear. When you are hard to shake, you are hard to replace. People feel secure around stability. They feel small around chaos, and they distance themselves from instability over time. Way number 2 is building rare skills. The mistake most people make is competing in crowded areas. They focus only on being attractive, entertaining, or agreeable. These qualities are common. When everyone offers the same thing, no one stands out. The psychological shift is from seeking validation to creating competence. Competence creates leverage. Real ability is quiet but powerful. Loud confidence without skill eventually gets exposed. When you develop skills that solve real problems, your presence becomes useful. It becomes practical. It becomes necessary. The practical standard here is to invest time in learning things that are valuable in real life. Improve communication, improve financial understanding, improve discipline, improve health, improve strategic thinking. When you become someone who can handle challenges, others begin to rely on you. The transformation effect is subtle, but strong. When you solve problems others cannot solve, your absence becomes expensive. People may not praise you every day, but when you are gone, they feel the gap. That gap creates regret. Regret grows when replacement is difficult. Way number 3 is reducing neediness. Neediness destroys value faster than almost anything else. When someone feels that you need them to feel okay, they feel superior. Power shifts instantly. The mistake most people make is attaching their emotional state to someone else's behavior. If a message is delayed, they panic. If plans change, they overthink. If attention drops, they chase. This pattern lowers respect. The psychological shift is detachment from outcomes. Detachment does not mean you do not care. It means your well-being does not depend on one person. The Roman philosopher Seneca warned that dependence weakens freedom. When you depend on someone for identity or happiness, you give away leverage. The practical standard is this: build a life where you are busy improving. Keep friendships strong. Maintain routines. Protect your goals. Do not cancel your mission to secure someone's approval. Want them, do not need them. The transformation effect is powerful. People respect those who can walk away. When someone senses that you would survive without them, they value your choice to stay. Choice is attractive. Dependency is heavy. Way number 4 is becoming mentally unpredictable but stable, not emotional chaos, not inconsistency. Strategic unpredictability. The mistake most people make is being completely predictable. They reply instantly every time. They explain every move. They are available at all hours. Over time, familiarity lowers perceived value. The psychological shift is understanding scarcity. When something is always available, it becomes background noise. When access is limited, attention increases. The practical standard is simple. Do not respond instantly every time. Take your time when needed. Do not reveal every plan. Keep parts of your life private. Maintain mystery without playing games. Stability remains constant. Your mood does not swing. Your principles do not change. But your availability is not unlimited. The transformation effect is noticeable. People begin to anticipate your presence. They begin to respect your time. Predictable people fade into routine. Balanced unpredictability creates intrigue without chaos. Way number 5 is upgrading your standards. The mistake most people make is chasing. They tolerate small disrespect. They accept inconsistent behavior. They lower boundaries to avoid conflict. This signals fear of loss. The psychological shift is from chasing to evaluating. Instead of asking how to keep someone, you ask if they meet your standard. The practical standard is enforcing boundaries calmly. If someone disrespects you, address it once. If it continues, reduce access. No drama, no threats, just quiet adjustment. Value rises when access decreases. When people realize they can lose access to you, they become more careful. The transformation effect is internal first. You begin to respect yourself more. Others follow that lead. Way number 6 is building a mission bigger than them. When your life revolves around someone, you shrink. You wait for messages. You wait for plans. You wait for validation. When your life revolves around purpose, you expand. Ambition is magnetic. Drive is attractive. The mistake most people make is making relationships their only source of meaning. The psychological shift is putting growth first. The practical standard is committing daily to goals that improve your future. Fitness, career, knowledge, discipline. When you are moving forward consistently, people feel that momentum. The transformation effect is long-term. People regret losing someone who is going somewhere. They see potential rising, and they realize they stepped away from growth. Way number 7 is mastering strategic silence. Silence creates space. Space creates reflection. The mistake most people make is filling every gap with words. They try to fix tension immediately. They send follow-up messages. They demand clarity instantly. This removes mystery. The psychological shift is trusting silence. Silence can communicate confidence. The practical standard is simple. When conflict appears, respond once calmly, then allow space. Do not chase explanations. Do not beg for closure. Let your absence speak. The transformation effect is powerful. When you disappear with dignity, people replay your value in their mind. Overexposure kills mystery. Silence builds impact. As you apply these principles, the emotional shift becomes visible. You move from emotional to calm, from available to selective, from needy to detached, from reactive to strategic, from replaceable to rare. This is not about manipulation. It is about structure. It is about becoming solid in a world that rewards stability. You do not make someone regret losing you by begging for another chance. You make them regret it by upgrading beyond their reach, and that upgrade is built slowly through control, competence, detachment, standards, mission, and silence. When these qualities combine, you stop being just another option. You become the standard they measure others against. At the end of the day, being unforgettable is not the goal. Unforgettable moments fade. Unforgettable words get replaced by new ones. Even unforgettable chemistry can be recreated with someone else. But irreplaceable is different. Irreplaceable is built. It is earned. It is reinforced through discipline, standards, and self-control. When you become irreplaceable, people do not just remember you, they measure others against you. They compare stability. They compare mindset. They compare effort, and they quietly realize what they lost. Do not chase attention. Build value. Do not beg for presence. Strengthen your position. Do not focus on being liked. Focus on being respected, because respect lasts longer than excitement. Stability lasts longer than attraction, and true value speaks long after you are gone. So don't try to be unforgettable. Become irreplaceable. If this shifted the way you think, subscribe to the channel right now. We don't teach fantasy here. We teach control, strength, and real leverage. Like this video, so more people learn to raise their value instead of lowering their standards. Share it with someone who needs this message. And stay with us, because the next lesson will take this mindset even deeper.